When we framed out the upstairs out here at the lake house, we decided to add a tray ceiling to the master bedroom. Not only does it give it that extra height, but it just kind of adds some dimension to the room. Now, rather than leaving the ceiling bare, we've decided to add a special touch to the ceiling and some really cool lighting. Let's get started. Now, I really love the look of these slat panels. It's like a slat wall with an acoustic panel on the back. So not only is it going to look cool, but it will also help absorb some of the echo and the sound transfer and whatnot. Now, the problem was that I found is our tray ceiling is 8 feet 6 inches. Most of these slat panels come in 8-foot long panels, so we would have a seam. Now, luckily, Willow has a 9-foot panel, which is what we ordered. So we'll be able to do it all in one shot. All right, so when it comes to installing the panels, now you just simply use some black drywall screws and screw through the felt between the slats. That way the screw head is kind of hidden between those slats. Now obviously you can't just hang it on or install it to the drywall. We need to get into the ceiling joists in this case. Wall studs for the wall, ceiling joists for the ceiling. Now, when we frame this out, I know that the ceiling joists are running this way. However, I don't know exactly where they are. It was perfect timing because a company reached out to me the other day called Walabot. And if you haven't seen this thing, it's their new DIY 2 stud finder. There's a ton of imaging technology packed in here, and I've been super excited to get my hands on one of these ones. So let's go ahead and get this thing connected to my phone, and I'll show you how it works. Okay. So obviously this is the device. You simply turn that on and then you connect it to your phone. It'll join the network. Essentially this puts out a Wi-Fi signal that your phone will then join. So now we are connecting to the unit. Okay, so I came over here to the bathroom because I know I can visualize and see where I have pipes. Obviously I know there's a water line that runs right through here. There's some that run this way. And then there's a stud here, and then I can see a screw for the tub that goes into a stud that's there. So now that I've got this Walabot connected to my phone, I need to calibrate it. So I click the calibrate button and I place this on the surface, and then all I gotta do is basically just scan a large area. So I'm just going around in circles until this thing says that it's calibrated. And now the calibration is complete. So I will go ahead and scan this wall. Now there should be a stud right over here, and there it is. And then if I come over here, I have a pipe right there. That looks good. And then there should be a stud right there. So everything is checking out well, because there's my stud, there's my pipe, and I know that other stud is over here. Now, I also know there's a PVC vent stack over there, so we're gonna check that wall and see how it picks that up. Now there's a little crack here. Yep, I can see my PVC through that crack, so I know there's a stud here, and then there's a PVC pipe kind of right beside it. So let's do that. All right, so there is my PVC pipe, and there is my wooden stud. Now, the other cool thing about this is you can flip over to expert mode, which actually shows you kind of like the heat map is essentially what it is, but it's showing you the different density in the wall. So that's that's telling me that's a wooden stud there, and it shows you the density of it. And then there is my pipe. So it kind of gives you an idea of how big that area is. And then there's nothing over here until you get all the way to the corner. So it's picking up that corner. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can actually use this expert mode and detect like pests in the wall. So it'll show you motion, whereas like if I were to put my hand behind it, you can kind of see that moving. So if there's something in your wall, you can scan through the wall and be able to pick up on movement in the wall if you've got some kind of pest. Hopefully we don't ever have to deal with that now. All right, back to the ceiling. So I've already gone ahead and recalibrated this, and I know there should be some wood over here in the corner, which there is. So we are going to take that location right there. We'll grab my pencil and mark that. And then go over here to the next one. Center that up. That. So 102, 8'6" is the length of the panels that I need to cut. And you know, with my first cut, I was unsure as to like how this was gonna go with this felt backing on there, but it actually cuts really easily. I say that, and then I just cut through a staple that's in the back. But saw handled it just fine, and we're good to go. All right, so I've got a ceiling fan that's gonna be mounting in the middle. So I went ahead and kind of marked out where that was gonna be and then cut that circle out with a jigsaw. Now, if I measured and marked right, this should go right there. So like I said, you simply just screw through that black felt into your ceiling joist and it's nice and hidden. The nice thing about the felt is that if you for some reason miss a ceiling joist, then you just pull that screw out and screw in another location. That felt hides those screw holes really well. All right, so we've got the ceiling installed and then we went ahead and hung the ceiling fan. Now the ceiling fan that we used is from Kichler and it's called the Incus. I will link to both of those products, the ceiling and the ceiling fan, in the description below, so make sure you check that out if you want to see where we got it from. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to add some accent lighting. I feel like a ceiling like this needs to be lit. However, I didn't want to just put crown molding and the rope lighting like they did way back in the 90s. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using some tape lighting from Kichler as well. Now this is their 6T series LED strip, which if you've ever done tape lighting, Kichler makes the best stuff, so make sure you go check them out. Again, link in the description. But we're gonna be using the channel that they make. This is a low profile channel, and simply you screw these clips into the ceiling and then the channel fits right in that clip. So that will hold it in place. The best part about this is not only is the tape lighting really good, but the channel itself comes with this diffuser. So that clips in here and into that channel, and that's gonna give you a really uniform light all the way around the ceiling. Now, one thing I do want to point out is for the LED tape lighting, we went with the higher output lighting just because this is kind of the only lights that we've got in this room. So I wanted to be able to have the option to turn them on full blast if we needed that full lighting. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go ahead and start installing these clips, get our channel installed, and then we can install the tape lighting. All right, so I've gone ahead and got the tracks up, and essentially now we've got to install the lighting, which is very easy to do, but our power is in the attic. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole here, and then we'll run 2 strips of lighting, one each way, because the max span on those lights is about 20 feet. And that's what I've got. So we'll go around like this and just kind of let them both end over there. All right, so I drilled a hole through the metal channel and up into my attic. So now I just need to fish these wires through, and I can start laying that channel. Not the channel, sorry, the tape. The back of this light tape has this 3M strip on it, so it's really easy to install. You simply peel it back and stick it inside of your channel. And then here's your cut lines. So you'll be able to cut this strip to fit on the opposite end where this tape is going to end. With the tape lighting all installed, now I needed to just get power to it. Now luckily I did a little pre-planning where I actually wired in a switch that has power going to the attic, and that power just needed to be connected to a driver, and then the driver connected to the tape lighting. Now after I went and did all of that and got that driver installed, I realized that my wattage was just over the threshold for the max wattage of the driver, so I actually had to go back and install a second driver to make sure I could power both sets of lights. So this is all really looking good. I love the lighting and everything. However, I wanted to kind of finish off the bottom and kind of hide the lighting itself a little bit and get more of that indirect look. So I ordered the end caps, I believe is what they're called, from Willow that go with this. Now I went ahead, instead of mitering the corners, I just kind of notched around the bottom of the lights. But essentially what we're gonna do, sneak this right up in there and tack it in place with some brad nails. So I hope you guys like this video. Obviously we had a blank canvas to start with, but being able to turn it into something like this was truly amazing. And I love the slat wood on the ceiling, and then the accent lighting and the ceiling fan itself. Obviously we've got a ton more to do, not only in this room, but in this entire house. So make sure you stay tuned for those future videos. Until next time, be safe and happy building.